living without distortion, resilience, adaptability, and a life that holds. At some point, often quietly, the question changes. It stops being, how do I get more from life? And becomes, how do I live without distorting it? That shift changes everything. Because now the task is no longer extraction. Not more pleasure, not more certainty, not more status. The task becomes something subtler and harder. How to remain intact while living inside reality. From this orientation, different values rise to the surface. Not as goals to chase, but as ways of standing in the world. Resilience, adaptability, fulfillment. Resilience is often mistaken for toughness, for grit, for pushing through. But real resilience is softer than that. It is the capacity to absorb reality without hardening, to meet stress, disappointment, and limitation without becoming brittle, without turning cynical, without closing the heart as a defensive move. Resilience is not resistance. It is permeability without collapse. Adaptability, too, is frequently misunderstood. It is not restlessness, not reinvention for its own sake, not abandoning oneself every time conditions shift. Adaptability is the ability to revise direction as reality changes, without losing one's center, to update the map without abandoning the terrain that matters, to remain responsive without becoming unmoored. And then there is fulfillment. Not happiness as a mood, not pleasure spikes or emotional highs. Fulfillment is alignment. Alignment between values and actions, between effort and meaning, between inner life and outer reality. When these are out of sync, life may still look successful, but it quietly drains. When they align, life may still be difficult, but it feels inhabitable. From this orientation, a different definition of a good life emerges. A good life minimizes delusion, not through certainty, not through control, but through ongoing self-honesty. Fewer stories that must be defended, fewer illusions that collapse under pressure, less emotional energy spent maintaining narratives that reality keeps trying to correct. And a good life maximizes fulfillment, not by chasing intensity, but by choosing what can be lived with over time. What does not quietly erode attention, integrity, or care? What can be sustained without self-betrayal? In such a life, joy, gratitude, and peace of mind are not objectives to be pursued. They become frequent companions, not because life is easy, but because it is being met honestly. This is not a life without difficulty. It is a life with fewer distortions, not optimized for comfort, not engineered for performance, but shaped to endure, to adapt, and to remain quietly, stubbornly worth living.